hard, built your career, and maybe you're earning more now than ever before. But for some reason, you wake up every morning feeling like it's not enough. Meanwhile, others earning a fraction of that amount consider themselves genuinely wealthy. The shocking truth is that wealth has almost nothing to do with how much money you actually have. Instead, it's determined by a psychological mindset that either traps you in permanent scarcity or unlocks true abundance. This isn't about lowering your standards or settling. It's about understanding that wealth is more than accumulation. In this video, I'm going to share 6 reasons why you might not feel wealthy despite making a great income. We all think being wealthy is about having more money to buy more and better things, but there's always more things to buy. Why is that? Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. That means that while events like a new job or new purchase initially increase our happiness, the emotional effects fade over time as that new circumstance becomes the new normal. This process can lead to a cycle of constantly seeking new experiences or possessions to recapture that initial feeling. For example, remember that raise you got last year? It felt incredible for a few weeks, but now it's your new baseline. Suddenly, the bigger house, upgraded car, or lavish trip feels like normal instead of luxurious. Here's a good visual from the blog Mind Dismantled. The key is to be aware that no matter what you desire, the euphoria will be fleeting and you'll settle into your baseline happiness. But then should we not enjoy any luxuries and live the lives of quiet austerity? Absolutely not, because this can be equally harmful. The scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset is the persistent feeling of lack and feeling insecure, no matter your circumstances. Someone making $70,000 a year might believe that they'd feel more financially secure at $120,000. Then they get there and they still don't feel secure. It's the same mindset that drives people to either hoard possessions or endlessly stockpile money. Both behaviors come from fear. And this is a much more difficult psychological hurdle. Your family history, experiences with money, and security could determine how you feel. And it takes commitment and discipline to remind yourself that there is enough. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, emphasized that a scarcity mindset creates a belief in limited resources, where one person's success implies another person's failure. That fosters fear and jealousy. And he taught that abundance starts in the mind through visualization, spoken commands, and rejecting the fear of scarcity. By focusing on positive thinking and gratitude, you can develop a feeling of security and wellness. And your social circle, social media, and news stories may also affect your progress. It's important to surround yourself with those who aspire towards feeling the same way and avoid people in situations that cause fear and lack. But what if all those positive people have way more than you do, and that just makes you feel worse? Well, comparison is the thief of joy. Wealth is relative. If you live in a modest neighborhood, you may feel wealthy, but move into a wealthy suburb and suddenly you feel behind. Unfortunately, social media intensifies this by giving us endless highlight reels of other people's lives with their luxury cars and vacation homes. In fact, there's a new term for the extreme case of this. It's called obsessive comparison disorder. That's why one of the fastest ways to feel richer is to change your reference point. You may not be a Bezos or a Kardashian, but you are better off than a lot of the world. Remind yourself that you're okay and that you are doing well. I think the best way to thwart feelings of jealousy or envy is to offer sincere praise and admiration to those who might seem better than you. For me, this dissolves the jealousy and makes me a partner in their success rather than a competitor. You can also shift your focus to things that you're more passionate about. Remind yourself that you don't own a luxury car because you have more important goals. But what are those important goals? You probably don't even know. And that brings us to the next point. Ask yourself, why do you want more money or even more time? What is the real goal? Do you really need a net worth number, or would you rather live modestly and travel more? Sometimes the problem isn't income at all. It's that you're spending on things that don't actually matter to you. You might be financing the big house because society says it's a measure of success, when what you really want is travel, experiences, or freedom. Aligning your spending with your actual values creates a sense of richness that no paycheck can buy. We've been conditioned to believe that wealth comes from earning more money, having more possessions, but maybe true wealth is freedom from worry and anxiety and joy from the simple things in life. Speaking of anxiety, did you know that one of the most anxiety-provoking things is to look at your own budget, your actual income and expenses? Most people never do this one simple thing that would give them so much clarity. Anxiety comes from not knowing. When you don't know how much is coming in and how much is going out, it's easy to assume the worst and despair. But burying your head in the sand isn't going to help you. Take the time to go through your bank accounts and credit card accounts and physically write down expenses and categorize them. I try to do this every few months just to see it on paper. It gives me a lot of clarity and power. There's no sense in being anxious. Be honest and clear with yourself. Clarity creates confidence. And along with knowing your financial picture, get clear on what you want in your life. Sometimes we're just in the rat race with no prize at the end. Money is, after all, just a transfer of value. It's not an end in and of itself. Money only has value when it can be used to purchase assets. And what is the most valuable asset? Time. Myron Golden says, how wealthy I am is not determined by how much money I have, but rather how much time I have. You might have money in the bank, but if you're working 80-hour weeks and missing your kids' soccer games, you won't feel wealthy, you'll feel trapped. True wealth is the freedom to use your time the way you want. As Tim Ferriss, author of 4-Hour Workweek, says, being busy is not the same as being productive. The 80-20 principle, also known as Pareto's Law, dictates that 80% of your desired outcomes are the result of 20% of your inputs. So what can you do? Ensure that you're placing your effort in high-yield areas and cutting out other activities. You can use his DEAL method: define, eliminate, automate, and liberate. That means defining what you want and eliminating the rest, automating everything you can, and liberating yourself from the accepted means of earning. True freedom isn't just about money, but about having control over your time. So maybe it's not your investment strategy, but rather your mindset that needs a change. With clarity, gratitude, and alignment, you might find that you're already wealthy. But even if you feel wealthy, you might be further from retirement than you think. So in this next video, I'll show you exactly how to retire 10 years early. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.